What's up, everybody? My name is Paul.
And I'm Luke.
And I'm Mariah.
And we are TwinSauce. And today we're driving 4 hours from Kansas City to St. Louis to see a show at the MUNY.
Woohoo! So the MUNY is a outdoor amphitheater that primarily features Broadway shows, Broadway musical theater. And there's not a whole lot of those in the country, but in Missouri alone, we actually have two. One in Kansas City, one in St. Louis. So the MUNY is in St. Louis, and then the other one is Starlight in Kansas City, and that's the one that we patron. And now all of us are actually volunteers there now. And so this is our first time going to the MUNY, which we wanted to do for a very long time. What are we seeing?
We're gonna go see Matilda the musical, which I have never seen, and I know very little about, other than the fact that you two went without even knowing anything about it and loved it.
Freaking loved it.
I
so
refuse to really listen to the music because I would prefer to watch it as a just blank canvas for me to just see.
That's good. It's good.
We're excited because the MUNY doesn't actually do tours. They don't have tours come through. They actually self-produce. So we're really excited. Maybe you already mentioned that.
No, I didn't.
Oh, but they self-produce it. So we're really excited to see the self-produced version of Matilda
the musical. We're so excited!
So we stopped real quick before the show and we're gonna get some food. So we got some Euro Grill, which Luke jumped out of the car and grabbed for us.
Like a boss.
And then our fave Blueprint put coffee. Of course we had to stop at and get some coffees.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Don't stand a chance. Don't stand a chance. Don't stand.
What I'm thinking about right now is I'm gonna go find a rag or something and I'm gonna dust this pig. Are you freaking kidding me? We have to take care of the pigs. Thanks, guys. We'll see ya.
Bye.
Thank you. Now we're heading off to the MUNY. We're super stoked.
Get your coffee.
Yeah, no kidding. We're heading to the MUNY. We'll definitely have to go through a little quality dropping cameras because
They won't let that camera
this camera ain't going inside. So we just made it. So the deal is parking is free. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think
But
so.
Yeah, it is.
but the parking lots fill up pretty fast, so you can park along any of the park roads around here.
Similar yet so different from Starlight at the
But
same
also,
time.
like, look at these like pillars and all of this cool. I don't know, it's like
Really, really wide open. Starlight has a lot of like buildings around. There's significantly more seats in this auditorium than there are in
Well,
Starlight.
it's about 3,000 more seats.
Yeah.
It's like 7,900 or something like that at Starlight.
Yeah.
And then it's like about 10,500,
Here.
something like that
Yeah.
here.
So it's actually really cool. They have actually a whole seating section that you can get in for free.
Yeah. The back 9 rows are free.
And as long as you get here before everybody else, you can get a free seat for the show, which is cool. Isn't it B10?
B11.
Oh, up here.
You'll never again be subject to abuse. For your immense caboose, she'll call a truce. With every swallow you are tied to be the peace. She never thought it was possible, but here it is coming true. We can have our cake and eat it too.
It's intermission and I am shook.
I freaking love this show. It's interesting to watch it after seeing it the Broadway tour, and I really like some of the choices that they've made in this show. It's really good. There's some things that I'm like, I really loved about the Broadway tour that they didn't do, but I like the creativity that they did.
So normally in the Broadway show, the Mrs. Trunchbull is actually played by a guy.
Is it? Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's more exaggerated.
So comedic.
But I really like how she's done it. She's really grown on me too.
I recently saw Matilda at
Theater in the Park.
Theater in the Park, and the guy that played Mrs. Trunchbull was so good. Like he was meant for it. It was such a good choice.
I
And
wish I could have made it out to that show.
it was honestly it was really good at Theater in the Park. I was surprised for not being a professional show.
For being community.
It was the best show I've ever seen at Theater in the Park.
So one thing that they did differently choreographically that I didn't like as much here is when they do the ABC song. It's done in the Broadway
Through the
tour.
gate.
It's on the gate with these blocks that the ensemble climbs around on, and then as they're climbing, like the blocks are removed. So somebody will step on it, step on another one. It's pulled out and changed to a different letter, and it's like all choreographed so that these different letters are popping out of the gate. It's so cool, and the whole song is done out in the yard instead of coming into the school like this one is. But I like what they did with the choreography. I think it's a creative switch. I just think I really like it.
And there's a lot of use of screens in this one, and sometimes it takes you out of it a little bit, but it does aid at times. I think it's very, very helpful. I think it's interesting how they've done it.
We are a gang of nuts in our game.
What did you guys think?
Very good.
Blown away. You guys had some like notes that you thought that were different because you only had experience with the Broadway show and then you had the Theater in the Park show, which you were very impressed with Theater in the Park.
Theater in the Park,
which is community theater.
Yes, it's community theater in Kansas City, Kansas, or like Shawnee area.
Shawnee Mission, yeah.
And it was honestly the best production I've seen at Theater in the Park.
At Theater in the Park, even compared to the Broadway show.
It was on par with the Broadway show,
which is kind of crazy.
It was really good.
I think the thing about this show is like it's hard to compare to a Broadway show. Yeah. I mean, anytime, because we have expectations that we want to see. I think it's cool that Luke got to see it without having any expectations.
Oh yeah, because I freaking loved it. The whole thing I thought was brilliant.
And I think the things that you did say that they added, like the swings and When I Grow Up, and then the blocks in the ABC song, would have been dope to see.
Yeah, it's still cool. It's just different,
cool. Right. And that's what we're saying is that it's hard to compare.
There's no reason why it has to be that way. It's just like, I like it this way because that's how I originally saw it. It's like expectations. Yeah.
I also want to mention the thing that I really loved about this over the one that we saw at Starlight, the Broadway version, is that they incorporated how many extra kids do you think they had? 30
They had 32 kids on the stage, and that
that didn't include any of the actual characters. So they had those, and then they would add in the young adult ensemble, which is like our age of people that were like the high schoolers,
or like probably like MUNY teens or something.
Yeah. And then they had all of the actual character 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And the whole stage was full of kids.
At the end,
and it's a big stage.
At the end, when they had everybody on stage, it was like
Revolting Children gave me so many chills because it was just like so cool.
And as somebody who had never seen the show, Revolting Children, I was punching the air.
we were all about
like, Revolting Children just makes me want to get up and dance.
It's these kids, oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
If you ever choose to if you are a musical theater kid,
I'm getting all excited thinking about it.
Literally. The dream would be to be in that number. I don't even care.
I want to be in it when I grow up.
I love Bruce in that one. Never again, you know the best of me.
And then he was like, whoa. What are the notes you were singing during it? We couldn't contain ourselves. It was so cool. And then When I Grow Up is such a bop that no matter what the choreography is, which their choreography was good, it was just different than
it was just
Broadway.
different. They didn't incorporate the swings.
But I really liked what they did with the parents. They brought parents on stage, which is different. Like the parents, really, it's like the young adult teens dressed as parents, but still, they came out.
Which they're dressed in the beginning
as the parents.
Parental figures.
And then these parents start having fun with their kids, which
at the very beginning, it's like, my mommy says, I'm a miracle. Yeah. So it's like all these kids who are they've been at home and their parents are just nurturing, which is, I don't know.
But it's in contrast to Matilda, who has no support.
And
is just being
family support or encouragement or
and she's
love.
a prodigy of of knowledge and reading and learning and
Matilda as a character is just, as a written character, is just a fascinating study of determination and driven, but it's just so incredibly interesting to watch.
But if you see it, it's all laid out in her very first solo. She talks about changing the end of her story.
Right.
She's determined not to let them drive her story. She's going to be overpowered.
As a story is so empowering, and I loved that was the whole focus was
nobody gonna change my story.
Obviously, I don't want people to go out and
be a little bit naughty.
I don't want anyone to go out.
All the music. Sorry.
I don't want anyone to go out and see the show and be like, oh, it's okay to be naughty. But I think that there is an element of
rebelling against
when the people in charge, like Miss Trunchbull, are clearly abusing their power.
Right. Yeah. Or your parents or whatever.
Yeah.
Pushing back against that, I think is so important.
It's using the term naughty and the whole show twists the idea of rebellion into something that's positive, which I think is a unique way of putting it. Even in the middle at the end of intermission where the dad comes out and sings his song about the telly. I love that song.
I loved this dad.
Yes.
The only weird thing is, and I get it because Matilda is technically supposed to be 5 or 6.
Right.
Yeah.
But obviously most of the characters who are playing her are 8 to 12.
Yeah. Right.
And so that's the only weird part that's kind of unbelievable.
Show, which is fantastic. And I think we've compared it a lot. So I just want to make sure you guys know we really enjoyed the show.
Oh, yeah.
It was not,
no.
we do not do this
really
with all
good. It's
shows.
just interesting to compare one show to another show. And then also this being locally produced, they don't necessarily have to do it the way that
Right.
They don't have to do it.
Well, even like when we've been in shows at Calvary, like we do them differently than the Broadway shows.
Which I
And
think is what the magic of theater is you're
Right.
hacking things to make it work in your
between
space.
using the resources you have
Right.
and then also just being like saying, hey, how can we do this differently
And more
and, and make it our own.
Right.
Yeah.
But I wanted to back up a little bit and talk a little bit about the MUNY because this is the first time we were at the
Yes!
MUNY. I really enjoyed the MUNY. I've sat in the back a lot because we volunteer at Starlight. So you don't have the best seats. They do have screens and that's helpful at Starlight. This one, you didn't need screens. And we were not in the front.
I would have liked to have been closer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course, always.
Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
So that we sat pretty far back, and I think that was good for us because I wanted to see it from like a lay, just like somebody that went to the theater that didn't pay very much money and just saw a show.
Yeah, I think that it was a good show to see that far away because of the amount of dancers that were on stage and the bigness of it. You could see the big picture, you could see the turntable, you could see a lot of those things, and that was really, really fun for me.
Oh, the turntable. We haven't even talked about the turntable. I wish
I'd utilized that more.
I know, they only did it twice.
In what was the song that they...
Oh, 3 times.
That they do where like so they've got they're in a classroom and it's revolving and then all of a sudden the cake one, yeah, so he's eating all this cake, Bruce's song, and then all of these the older ensemble dancers run on, and so as they're doing is a step ball change, step high knee kick, but it's not like a kick, step kick, and then step ball change,
cool.
but they're doing it on the turntable with the speed of the turntable. So everybody on the turntable, some of the kids are walking the opposite direction,
and they're like inside,
which makes it look slow.
A way cooler effect.
It is so neat. It was like I was like, never underestimate the intensity of like, well, one, your dancers are intense. Like they're putting every effort into the step ball change, step kick. But like that is
a simple choreography move
that
with
is so effective.
Determination is so effective. Yeah.
Don't throw those away, dancers. Don't throw those away. That's what I have to say. Don't throw away the easy moves.
I don't think any dancers who are doing that are throwing those away.
I hope not. I'm just saying, don't do it.
That's all we have for you guys today. We will talk to you all
later.
Yeah,
thanks for sticking around. Home.
Yeah, we got 4 hours. We're gonna drive and talk about the show more.
Don't die.
Okay, bye. That's what we do.
I was waiting for you.